subject of infractions by security persons is one that His Excellency the President and indeed the entire response team takes very, very, very seriously. Let's go back and understand a few things. Over the last 25 years in this country, we have not had an incident where police and military are deployed on our streets in Accra and Kumasi in such numbers to literally manage sort of a curfew, if I may use that word loosely. A lot of the officers that you have in the rank and file, a lot of the men are new even to this operation that they are running. Citizens are new to it. The health service providers, policymakers, everybody is new to what is going on. It is within this context that we are doing our very best to ensure that they do not infringe on the rights of citizens. Now, two things have happened. There have been incidents of people populating social media with a lot of videos that have no bearing on what is going on and seeking to heighten a certain impression that it's chaos all over. That is not true. And I think the military high command has been at pains to try and explain the various contexts of some of the videos. Some of them are not even Ghanaian, etc. But there are also true incidents of men and officers who have handled citizens in a way that is unpalatable. In the case of the military, my understanding is that they have withdrawn some of those officers from the operation and are proceeding to investigate them. And thankfully, in those instances where there's footage to back that investigation should be easy. Today, in the Greater Accra region, we've had one incident where a military officer, as part of this COVID program, sought to apprehend some persons who were suspected to be also dabbling in narcotics and other things. While they were even supposed to be in lockdown, they were busy dabbling in narcotics, etc. The preliminary report that we have as at now is that in the attempt to arrest these persons or this person sought to disarm the military officer. And a struggle ensued, in which period the military officer's gun went off, injuring this person quite severely. The person was rushed to the hospital. The brief I'm just getting is that that person was declared DOA at the hospital, and the military has taken the officer in, disarmed him, and is proceeding to investigate. The High Command has also sent out higher level officers to go out there and be with their men so that they can supervise and ensure that infractions don't happen or are reduced to the barest minimum out there. So it is within this context that they are trying their best to ensure that they follow the rules, don't infringe on the rights of citizens, but if any of them does infringe on the rights of citizens, they're also able to take that person in and ensure that the person is brought to face the consequences of his actions. In addition, as I mentioned to you earlier, they've issued this aid memoir, as they call it, to also guide their men on how to operate. But let me put it in broader context. Generally, citizens have been cooperative. Generally, the officers, they have been cooperative. We drive around, go through some of these patrols, etc. You have a few instances where sometimes persons want to challenge or exchange words with officers, etc., and want to encourage both citizens and the officers who are out there to cooperate. Whatever it is, do not get into an altercation with these officers so that we also respect what they are trying to do, and in the end, we have a smooth process with the final week that is ahead of us.
So you talked about that of the military. There was also an instance involving the police as well, where we are told about a 67-year-old widow. We had cause to interact with her, where she was lashed when she was actually, she's in the exempt group. She went out there to get food. And I'm sure that issue has also been brought to your attention.
When I talk of the military, actually what I'm talking is
the entire,
what I'm talking about is the Joint Operations Command. Perhaps the military, giving us all of these things makes me refer to them in that example. But it is this Joint Operations Command that has been dealing with all of these infractions that are coming up and doing the necessary investigations.
And bearing in mind that Shraj this week also had cause to comment on that, saying that how we deal with it going forward could be embarrassing to the nation. So
Absolutely
it's an issue
correct.
that we should
Absolutely correct. We have to ensure that our officers who are out there don't take advantage of the situation to infringe on the rights of citizens. Citizens also have to ensure that we just also don't take advantage of the democratic policing that we've spoken about to try and draw rings. I'm sure you saw the video of the gentleman who says that, he told them lies so that he could come to town and see what was going on. So it's a balance that we all have to, strike.